What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's speak on it. I personally think that what's up, vaping fast break. I personally think that R. Kelly is in a situation where there's no way out. No way out, bruh. It's over. They want him to go down. And the thing is that they have no new crime. These are things that was happening years ago, and it's amazing how they can attach trafficking to him. You know, and the thing is that in the 90s, when these things were happening, you guys swept it all under the rug. You know, the industry, the people in the industry did songs with him, record companies, they knew all of it. They didn't care. But something happened somewhere. There was one girl in particular, there was one thing he did in particular, and it didn't go over well. And now all of these resources are being poured into taking R. Kelly down. Because see, if R. Kelly go down, then they're gonna want everybody going down. You see, these situations don't happen, and they don't come to get the people of color like ourselves until we see one of theirs go down. When one of theirs go down, now we got to circle the wagon. Then you start seeing other people go down, like us. Didn't Epstein just go to jail? Trump buddy. Didn't we see Harvey get grabbed? We saw Harvey get grabbed. All of a sudden, Bill Cosby gone. Russell Simmons had to flee the country. Meanwhile, you got Sheen out here. He ain't locked up for having unprotected sex with women, knowing he was infected with a virus. They kept giving him millions of dollars. Roman Polanski can lounge up in Russia. Nobody going to get him. But America still allow his movies to come out. Nobody grabbed Woody Allen. See, there's the thing that you guys keep holding over people's heads. These are new charges these are the old charges that he already beat. It don't work like that in law. And you guys got to get over that. They're painting that picture. R. Kelly defense team is painting that picture. See, you got to understand something. People view things as double jeopardy in different cases. There's a case that I'll explain to you. One man was accused of, a husband was accused of attacking his wife. His wife was in a coma, didn't look like she was going to recover. And they said, well, they didn't have any other people to blame but him, but they could hardly find any evidence, including the weapon. But since his weapon was there and in the case and had the numbers and everything there on the weapon, they assumed it was him. Charged him with attempt murder because she was in a coma. He went to trial with very limited evidence. They did. He beat the case because they didn't have any evidence. The case fell apart. And then once they decided to do a deeper investigation after it was over, they realized where they went wrong. And the guy, after he felt like he won and beat the case, was actually almost bragging and telling, almost to friends how he got away with it and what happened. Like, the cops are so dumb. This happened and that happened and this happened. So about a couple of months, his wife wasn't recovering on on the machine. He signed the order to have her terminated. Once she was terminated, they charged him again. And he was like, wait a minute, that's double jeopardy. You can't charge me twice. Oh yeah, we can. Cause see, it's not the same charge. Before you were charged with attempted murder. Now, since you ordered pull the plug on her and she died, now we can charge you with murder. You see? See, attempt and actual murder are two different things. This is an old case. They even made a movie about it. It was so powerful, they made a movie about it. Of course, it happened in California. The ballistics of that weapon, they eventually found out the reason because he was telling people what had happened. His problem, he was guilty of running his mouth. His wife was having an affair, and the person she was having an affair with was an actual security guy or whatever, and he had a weapon on him. I forgot the name of the movie. Oh no, I didn't. I remember now. It was called Fracture. Fracture. And what they're doing here is one charge that was in the 90s, because in certain states like Georgia, they could bring the charges back up. The statute of limitations and all those things won't matter in the case. Now, the defense can argue that these are old charges, old claims that was already thrown out, lack of evidence, the videos are grainy. They're going to try to pick apart all of these things and throw them out and have them just thrown by the wayside. They can say they had a crooked attorney. You know, their attorney is under investigation for all the things he was leaking out at Nike. So they could throw that at them and put that in their face. There's a lot of things that could be done here. I don't run an underground operation, but I know how to find out things. So I would have been a great detective if I ever decided to go in that work. For me, it's common sense. Some people omit certain things. To me, that's like one of the first things I think about. See, sometimes you got to put yourself in the mind of and follow steps of what would have happened if you were trying to solve something or figure out something. And you just start crossing them off a list. Well, if you're the defense, you're going to definitely push for that narrative because all you need is reasonable doubt. If there's reasonable doubt, then you got to make an acquittal. You got to let the person off. You can't convict somebody of something when there's reasonable doubt that it actually happened. A lot of people think that O.J. Simpson got off because the gloves didn't fit. O.J. Simpson got off because of two narratives. The one big narrative was Mark Furman and him planting evidence at the scene of the crime. And it was reasonable doubt that he did that. Because when he went up there and they asked him the question, did he plant evidence? And he said, I plead the fifth. He could have easily said no and pled the fifth to all the other questions. But he took the oath, took the fifth on those questions. Now, what they're not telling you is the main thing that was pointed out in court that really exonerated O.J. Simpson. When they went and recovered some of the blood that was found on some of the key blood on the door, blood on the fence, and blood in the console, under the console where they found the blood stain. When they found that blood in those areas, do you know why they found that? They found those in those areas due to the fact that the blood had a chemical. It had OJ's blood, Nicole's blood, and Ron, what's his name? Whatever his name, Goldman. They had the Goldman kids' blood all mixed together. That's an open shut case. You got the blood of them, both of their bloods, all three of their bloods together. OJ blood, all of them mixed together on the door handle, on the fence, and on the inner console. So they did a test on the blood. They sent it to the lab, and that blood actually has a chemical in there that is mixed at the lab when they use to identify the blood samples. So for that chemical to be in those locations there. How could that be? That's impossible unless somebody took the blood samples that were reportedly missing at the scene of the in the investigation. They took blood from OJ. That vial was missing out of the police evidence, right along with two other missing blood samples from Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. OJ's son did not do it. They just did a documentary making it appear to be him. It wasn't him at all. That's right. That chemical is called EDTA. You're absolutely correct, Wild 23. And EDTA was found on the fence, on that door, and on that console. And to make it even worse, there's no way OJ hand could have gotten to that part of the console where the blood was even at. How did the blood go from OJ's hand all the way to the console and not touch anything else? There would have been blood everywhere else before it got in between the console. The part that they did it is when he went and planted the blood is when they took apart the car and took the console out. The idiot went back in there and planted it on there after they've done that. So that, and then you already heard the tapes, and you barely heard the tape. If anybody heard the full Mark Furman tapes, everything this guy has done on the police department, the guy should have been in jail right now. So if you got EDTA on the scene, you automatically know the whole thing has been compromised and he was being framed. That is reasonable doubt beyond every juror should have said, send that man home. It's not even a question of if he did it or not. You didn't let the law take its place. You didn't let the law do its job. And because you decided to play law and determine what the outcome would be, that's why you ended up in that situation. That right there proves, without a doubt, EDTA cannot be in anybody's blood system unless it came from a lab. They mixed that with a chemical. And no one talks about that. You know that? No one talks about that. Why not? R. Kelly made a mistake. He made a lot of mistakes. He didn't get help. The people around him made mistakes. He's mentally flawed. That is true. And he has a lot of insecurities. He can barely read. And that's not enough sympathy to get you out of there. If that's the case, you have to get help. People would have helped R. Kelly. R. Kelly felt as long as he could sing, as long as he could make records, and as long as people were buying it, nobody cared what he did. Hollywood has been getting away with this, especially when he's surrounded to seeing other people get away with things. But you don't have the complexion for the protection. And when that happens, you're outcast. And by the way, you guys can't hit the super chat over here. They do have the super chat button for us going live. People can be as literate as they want to be. They know right from wrong. They know if they steal a purse from somebody, they're robbing them. And that there's a risk of them going to jail. They've broken the law. Even an illiterate person knows that. So you know right from wrong. Just a sympathy play. That's because the ratings were so low on the NBA Finals with the Knicks and the Rockets. You see, the thing was, it was supposed to be the Knicks versus the Phoenix Suns. They had already had the schedule set up. Charles Barkley versus the Ewan and the Knicks, but the Knicks and the Suns had a violent fight, a very violent fight earlier that year. It was brutal. Like it's so bad you can't find any footage of it on YouTube. That's how bad it was. It was one of those games the media barely covered it, and it ended up being a terrible night. Greg Anthony punches Kevin Johnson in the mouth when he's in street clothes. Then another guy punches him in the mouth, and everybody is going off throwing punches. Greg Anthony was injured, so he was just sitting on the bench with street clothes. And they got into an argument on the court, and he just punched Kevin Johnson right in the mouth. Yeah, they had a fight right in the game, and Kevin Johnson was playing. Greg Anthony wasn't, and then the whole team got to fighting. They cleared the court. It would have been up there with the Piston brawl. It was the biggest NBA fight to the point where they won't even air that game no more. You won't even see the results of that game. Nothing. Oh, that was nothing compared to that, because that broke out to the Knicks versus Suns fight. So yeah, we'll learn about that a little later. And to that father who came out there when R. Kelly's doggone the guy who's speaking for him looked like an R&B backup singer that didn't make it. I mean, he's sitting out there and the father like, "What about my daughter? What about my daughter?" I'd have stopped the interview and turned to him and said, "What about your daughter? Where my daughter at?" I'd be like, "Dude, you the father, right? That's your daughter. You don't know where she's at, and that's my responsibility." I mean, how old is your daughter? My daughter is 20 something, and she 20 something, and she where she want to be, and she don't want to come where you are. Your daughter has made a statement on television saying, "I'm fine. I don't want to talk to my family." That's on her. That ain't got nothing to do with R. Kelly. If she came out and said that, period. Now, if all of these women are of age and they want to go run behind somebody, if I had a daughter and she's 18 and be like, "I want to go run behind this guy," I'll be, "That's cool." Because once you leave, bye. You grown. If that's what you want to do. By law, I don't have to take care of you no more. So that's what you want to do. Go ahead. So you just gonna let me? I'm gonna let you go. That's what you want. So now what R. Kelly's doing is he's got these girls who are like 19 and or 18 and they're legal, but people don't like it because they like, why is he going under these 18, 19-year olds? That's what he wants. Jerry Buss had a 19-year-old girlfriend. When he died, she was like 21, 22. The owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. We won't even go into Hugh and how young they were. No, the problem is this. If you was going to mean something or you want the rules to mean something, you have to make it for everybody. And if you give allowances to certain people, then attack one person, there's always going to be a problem. Because they're going to be like, for the people who are saying, hey, why y'all jumping on R. Kelly? Because right now he ain't doing that, especially y'all are trying to get him for stuff that happened back in 95, 94. And I'm like, that's already, y'all had y'all window. Y'all missed that. What is he doing now? Is he doing something now? No, he's not. He's not doing anything now. So the thing is, you just don't like it. And somebody's mad because he's doing something that is particularly upsetting some people that they're probably losing out on money on or for whatever reason. And he's trying to get away from some extortion. And they're saying, we're going to show you. If you're not going to do what we tell you to do, a jails are coming. He didn't sign away the majority of his royalties, so he basically don't have a lot of money. I Believe I Could Fly. He don't probably get a dime off that. The UIC Pavilion in '98. Man, I probably was at the UIC Pavilion in '98. I just don't know what was going on up there. My thing is, if you're gonna get R. Kelly, you should have got R. Kelly back in the '90s. Now, if he's not doing nothing now, then what are you wasting your time for? Because he's not doing anything now. All the stuff he's doing is legal. So by law, everything is by the book. So unless he's doing something illegal now, don't try to convict him on something from '95, some old VHS tapes. I'm not with that. Because now if you're doing that, then okay, well, you can go get this guy here. You can go get this guy over here. He did something in '87. This guy did something. Okay, well, go get Woody Allen. Go dig up Robert Wagner. Go get all these guys. Go get the guy who had dinner with his wife, and as soon as she walked out, she got shot. Go get them guys. Go reinvestigate those cases. Because I told you, once one of theirs go down for something, they come circle and get everybody else. Jerry Epstein goes down. Oh, what about R. Kelly? What about this guy? We got to get them all then. Harvey's going down. Oh, Harvey going down. What about Bill Cosby? What about these guys? Now Bill's gone, and now all these other people gone. See, the new Nas song. I'm gonna make a video about it. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to listen to it and let it resonate with me because it's not a new Nas song, but I'm trying to let it resonate. Well, Kevin Spacey's not getting convicted. You know, the guy changed his story. Um, Polanski, he can't come back to the States, but his movies can. He's still making money here in America off his movies. So he's good. You know, they always have a plan B. We don't have a plan B. We're not allowed it. Hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. In the end, we're all going to want to see what happens and see how it plays out. I agree. So if anybody here is new, don't forget to hit the like button and support the page. And if you want to hit up the Cash App, you can hit up the Cash App. Surprised none of you hit the super chat on this one, but it's cool. My Cash App is Carcino. Y'all know that. And I'm out.